Welcome to the show, Dr. Mark and Dr. Gwaine.
I got in just in time.
Yes, you did. And sorry for not having the whole music intro and everything. And also, tell us if we sound different. We're trying something a little different with our audio, and we'd like to know if it's better or worse, or if you can't tell. But the topic of today's show, what was the topic? Anybody? Ozempic versus food allowance, which sounds like a medical discussion about a hot new drug that's all the rage.
Food allowance?
But actually, it's a political discussion. it's
I don't know that
it's
one.
Full-on politics here at the Auburn Medical Group. Once again, touch that third rail or whatever, the middle rail, third rail, whatever it is. So, Dr. Gwaine, thank you for joining us for this discussion to get us both in trouble with whatever affiliations we have. So we wanted to talk today, the idea of Ozempic. Oh, Robert Antonio, look at this. We actually have people watching who like to greet us and say hello, including Robert Antonio. And everybody else, please do chime in on the chat. We want to make this a conversation, so please join us here. So, Dr. Gwaine, I'll give you 3 letters.
Where do we start? 3 letters.
Three. The discussion of Ozempic versus food allowance. What 3 letters in politics is that coming from?
Is it a person? Sounds like 3 letters.
3 letters.
Maybe RFK.
Yes, that's right. RFK Jr. is the reason that we're doing this, because he's being floated for, I guess even more seriously than just floated for. He's
been nominated. Nominated? Is that what they say?
Has he been is that what they handed over to the Senate for confirmation?
Not fully, but I guess that's...
For Health and Human Services, Secretary of Health and Human Services.
That's what...
Which is over. Do you know what it's over? It's over the FDA.
NIH.
It's
FDA,
over the NIH.
CDC.
It's over the CDC. Health and Human Services. It includes a number of other agencies that aren't as big name. Yeah, I'm sorry, I did something different here. Like I said, I did something different.
Something different. Yeah. All right.
So you can see how this matters to a couple of doctors in primary care, where our existence as independent primary care practice is dependent on
very
subtle changes in federal policy.
Funding, reimbursement.
More so than other specialties, more so than people who work in the big groups that have different types of contracts than we do. So
we rely a lot on the recommendations from the CDC, from the ACIP immunization panel that is part of the the CDC. We rely on I guess recommendations from the FDA as far as clearance for medication.
I was going to say both FDA and CDC have bodies that make recommendations when it comes to approval of vaccines. Yeah. So a big part. This is something that we're paying attention to as independent primary care doctors, more so than any other appointments to a cabinet or other things going on. This is the one that's going to affect our work, our day-to-day work, could potentially. So what do you think of when you think of RFK Jr.?
Well, the big thing that people always say is the...
Did you know that really picks it up now when you do that?
Okay.
Or people's headphones are going like this.
The vaccine stuff. Just his... he has been an outspoken critic of vaccines, and you can. It's not that hard to just Google and YouTube stuff and see some of the things he's said about vaccines, some of the claims he's made that are baseless. As far as the big one is that it causes autism, which has been disproven time and time again. But he makes some decent points about healthy living. I mean, that part is a good part, and I think that there is a case to be made about that. And you walked into the office today and asked me if I could choose. Well, how did you phrase it? You said you said, okay, here's the trade-off. Would you take ending obesity if the federal government no longer made recommendations for vaccines? And that was actually a hard.
I believe that's how I worded it. Yes.
I think that was
if we could trade obesity for infectious disease.
I was like, I mean, choose your poison. How do we want people to die? From measles or from chronic disease? From
it's not how. I mean, it is, but the bigger reality of it is who.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Children.
Absolutely.
Or the elderly.
Right. Yeah. For obesity, you typically are not going to see the disease until, it's later in life after you've been in a chronic disease state for a long time.
It takes time for obesity to take its toll. Yeah.
If we don't have certain immunizations, we are going to see
measles,
babies,
it kills
young
kids.
children.
Yeah.
Chickenpox kills kids. So those are things that's difficult.
Probably many more people suffer death and chronic illness due to
secondary to
obesity. Or in part due to obesity. Then we would be concerned about suffering from
the long-term suffering
decrease
from those.
in campaigns for vaccination.
Yeah.
But we really don't want to
I was like
have to trade one for the other. But this is the thought that came in my head it's
a trade-off we should not even be discussing.
Let's get to our comment here that we have online. We have PMAC saying, I just started Mounjaro 3 weeks ago, and I assume this discussion will apply to me also. Is Mounjaro GLP-1?
Yep.
Okay.
So, it's along those.
PMAC, it is exactly.
Ozempic is just the most well-known one. It is
Same
the one
class.
made by Novardo, Norda, whatever. We heard something about the amount of money. It is now one of the biggest.
Who's saying it?
Now I guess I need to fact check that then. Is it bad that I need to, everything that he says I need to fact check? But he was saying it was one of the biggest, the maker of Ozempic is now one of the biggest companies, pharmaceutical companies.
Was it dollar-wise or?
Dollar-wise, yeah, because of the cost of Ozempic, which is significant.
And they're being accused of causing, the cost being several times more.
That's interesting.
Not just a percentage more, but several times more in the United States than any other country. I think. Again, okay. Let's fact check some things here because this is just too important. And we'll share the screen.
We want to make sure we're giving you correct information.
You can hear anything.
First of all, we can tell you some of the prices that we hear about from our patients for this medication. Occasionally, it's covered, and occasionally patients just have to pay a small nominal fee, a copay.
Sometimes.
But more often than not, it is not covered, and the out-of-pocket cost is usually in the hundreds. I think the cash price, if you don't have anything, is like $1,000, and often you can get a coupon to get it down to $700, which is a steal, right? Yeah. You're looking it up.
Sweden, United Kingdom, and Australia, about 10 times less than in the U.S.
Wow.
A 1 month supply of Ozempic costs $936 in the U.S., which is weird because it never says just $936 when we look it up in Epic. It's always over $1,000.
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird that it says.
But about $1,000. I mean, that's.
I'm not sure what their reference is there. We also we trust to a certain extent GoodRx as a resource.
Yeah, this would be
it's not always accurate. I think GoodRx changes on a monthly basis. And so if there's been a change within the month.
I've also heard that some places just won't accept or won't give you that price. But
even though their name is on here?
Even though their name is on there. Yeah, somebody said that.
Well, a lot of times I find on GoodRx.com, if you want to know what we're looking at here, a lot of times with GoodRx, it'll say with some kind of promotion, like you have to get their Saver card or something and give them your email address to get the discount. And here we go. I probably have a way of sharing my... There we go. You can see what I'm looking at. I'm glad it was that easy. Filling a prescription for your pet. No, that's not what we're doing today. So you can look over here and see what we were saying is, we're used to it being over $1,000. I don't know if you can see the cursor or not, but over on the right, most of these are over $1,000. I guess it's getting down to the 900s here a little bit. But high 900s at some. So these are Safeways. I guess it's supposed to be by our. Does it take into account our region, our zip code or something here?
Pay as little as $25. That's getting.
So these are the local farm.
Hey, there you go.
I clicked something, I think.
Rite Aid.
Did I click something? I don't know. There we go. So these are the pharmacies in our area right here. I guess I must have hovered over something. These are the pharmacies that we're sending things to regularly from our office for our patients. And those, you can see the prices are all just a little above, a little below $1,000 per month for this medication. So I heard an interview with RFK. It was on the Hill, RFK Jr. And he made the claim for if you take the percentage of Americans who are obese, or maybe he was even doing just severely, like morbidly obese, meaning it affects your health, not just that your BMI is 30, but that it's 35 if you're already diabetic or 40 if you're not.
Right.
That if you multiply out how many people there are, that this to pay for this, you could buy healthy food for all those people. Instead of pay for the drug, you can buy food.
Such an interesting concept. And
that blew me away. Oh my goodness. Some kind of like school lunch program for
adults.
Whatever majority percentage of Americans are considered obese now. And that's what, if you ever hear him talk, you'll hear him talk about, one of his regular lines is, when my uncle was president, this many people were obese, and now it's let's. I'll do a little search over here, a fact check on what percentage of Americans.
Well, we know you can look at those CDC maps and see just them, especially in the South, specifically
so
where
CDC 40%.
Where the amount of obesity has just grown over time. There's great evidence to support that. It's all over the place. We
got a little graph here from the Institutes of Health, which I will share with the folks at home.
Institutes of Health.
So the NIH, it's got this 1999, 2000 on the left and 2017, 2018 on the right. And you see that this is going up. Obesity, the top line, going from 30% to 42%. That is quite an increase over that period of
20 years or so, a little
18 years. And then on the bottom, it's severe obesity going from 4.7 to 9.2. Whoa, that's a doubling in the last 18 years of people who are severely obese.
Not good.
That is, let's find out what the definition of severe obesity is. Is that
hopefully
40, BMI of 40 or 35 with diabetes?
Yeah, that's the question. What are they? I was thinking.
Let's find out.
What are we defining? Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Severe obesity. There it is, 9.2%. Your reference is number 2, but it doesn't say what you have to scroll down.
So
there you go. Using body mass AI to estimate.
There we go.
Scroll down to see.
So it's saying
40.
Obesity 30 plus, severe obesity 40. Okay, so that's what we were saying.
9% of. Wow. That is a lot.
So this is what RFK Jr. is saying. He's saying stuff like this. I don't know. I think he was saying even more than that. It's the increase.
I mean,
it's the projected increase. Of course, it's not going to keep going at the rate here I am making a statement out of nowhere, just pulling it out of my ear.
Of course it's not.
It's not going to keep increasing at that rate.
What's to say it's not?
Well, okay, so to say that, we have to say what's causing it.
Yeah.
A change in activity and a change in food.
Right.
Are change in activity and change in food going to change that much more as they have? I mean, is the trend going to keep going as badly as it has over that 18-year period? Can you imagine the food being that much more unhealthy? As I drink my Dutch, that much more unhealthy.
Gonna go run it tomorrow. Well, no,
there was no
I
Dutch
think,
Brothers before.
Ooh. Oh, one was Dutch Brothers Open. Oh, man.
Hey, they're not sponsoring us. We can say.
I think you're looking at it wrong that it's not a direct relationship between how unhealthy the food is and how many obese people there are,
or how much consumption there is of it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's access to that unhealthy food and how many more people are accessing the unhealthy food versus.
But given the trend of people who are paying attention to this, do you think it's going to continue with that kind of slope?
How long have we been paying attention to this? How long have we been on the show talking about diet and exercise?
Not since 2000.
No, but I'm.
Really, you think you have that little faith in the American diet?
No, it's not that. I'm not saying that. I'm hoping that trend changes. I'm just saying it's not impossible to think that it could continue if we don't address it.
That means one of us would get a BMI.
If we get up to...
If it's that bad, it's going to be that prevalent that even one of us would get a BMI like that.
I don't think...
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, I volunteer.
Have I ever told you about how I see people eating certain foods, usually from a restaurant? I have this fantasy about getting a terminal illness.
Just so
it doesn't matter.
That's horrible.
I can have pepperoni pizza. It don't have time to affect me.
Oh my goodness.
I am an illness. Okay, maybe we should go to your
psychologically.
Maybe we should go to your questions and comments and not reveal so much about my deep dark wishes and desires. Okay, so that brings us to Robert Antonio saying, if you can make a comparison about the trade-off of vaccine costs versus medical treatment costs. Oh, he's bringing on the cost of the vaccines into it. Due to contracted illnesses. Are those the illnesses we write a contract with? I don't think so.
Might that not sway the argument for vax? Are we comparing that against the cost of healthy?
He's bringing in a whole different comparison. Vaccine versus the cost. Yes. Can I see over his name there? It costs less to vaccinate than to treat.
Oh, absolutely.
In the ICU for these people. It costs less to eat healthy, get my head over, than to pay for Ozempic at $1,000 a month per patient. I mean, think about how much it costs to do your monthly shopping. How many people does it cost $1,000 per
month
person per month?
I don't think it even costs my whole family that much.
There you go.
And I've got boys who eat a lot.
It's very expensive. I'm fortunate enough where I have two insurances that covered it. It unfortunately really hurt my digestive system. I developed gastroparesis. That can happen.
A side effect to
that can happen with it, and then I'm fully confident that everything worked again once you stopped taking it, but that would have been uncomfortable to experience.
Well, you were going through it for sure. I want to point out something here, though. You say your insurance covered it, but let's take a step back here and say somebody is paying for that.
We all are.
Meaning your insurance, which means if that happens to enough people over time, all of our insurance rates go up to have to...
So this is where RFK's argument goes. What is the cost as we project out how many people have this, and if we're going to use this drug, obviously not everybody's going to use it, and obviously if we did, it wouldn't be at the current cost.
Right.
But there is a significant discussion to occur here. We also have Ellen Coulter, is that right? Saying gastroparesis, I hope this doesn't affect anyone who takes it now.
It's a rare side effect, but it's a known side effect.
Gastroparesis being where your stomach stops moving.
Yeah.
Food does not pass through. It just goes back where it came from because it's not moving forward.
Yeah.
So some people would maybe use the phraseology blockage. which we think of like a small bowel obstruction.
A true blockage,
it behaves
similarly,
like that.
Stuff just doesn't move on to where it's supposed to go next.
Then we also have Taryn Allen saying, I just got notified of this chat. I am currently on Ozempic for type 2 diabetes. Man, we have good people writing in today. And to help with weight loss. Yes, and
it does a great job.
And I am not discouraging you from if it's paid for using it, even though I say on the big scale we can't afford to do what we're doing for you.
We use this medication.
From it.
We prescribe this medication. And it works. I have heard patients use the term miracle drug when referring to Ozempic.
Because they finally can get the pounds off that they've been trying to. And just not getting there through their efforts with lifestyle modifications and eating differently. They've tried. For some people, it's more difficult than others to get results, and these medicines help them. And then the other thing that comes up is, I just had a patient the other day that didn't want their spouse said they didn't want to have them talk to me about it because, here we go in quotes, once you start it, you can't stop. Would you like to address that?
No, I don't want to.
Just stop.
You can
stop taking it.
I mean, you can definitely stop it. Often you regain some of that weight. We hope that during that time you have put into practice or learned some healthy habits. Eating healthy, getting to those good foods that we're talking about.
And
getting
what
exercise.
Percentage of patients who started actually make that change because of it?
Right.
That's the hope.
That's the question.
That's
and there actually are ongoing
we go,
studies for that.
If we can get your weight down under 300, then maybe you'll feel like walking or bicycling or rowing or just walking.
Right.
You can see that logic, right? Get the weight down, take the person who's 300 pounds and get him down to 200. You can imagine that they would be more able to do these activities to help keep the weight off. That's an argument for starting on these medicines.
Right.
The truth is, not all of them are accomplishing it.
Right. I want to address something you said earlier where you said we put people on these medications when they have been trying diet and exercise and have not been accomplishing what they want. But yet we're trying to talk about this versus
spectrum.
But we're talking about healthy foods. I mean, how many times do you have a patient say, I eat healthy, I'm just not losing weight. I eat this. And then oftentimes you go through what they're actually eating, and it's...
Some it's true, and others it's,
It's like, But I do have some of those that your body has a new set point where your weight is at, and you can eat healthy, eat the fruits and vegetables, avoid the appropriate foods, and you're not going to lose weight. So this whole talk about, medication versus just healthy food, in some people is not going to work. We can give people as much healthy food as we want. It may not
Maybe
get
that's
them.
the problem. You're giving them as much as we want instead of portions.
Give them healthy. But you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, portions do.
The calories don't come from nowhere.
Right.
Yeah. But it's difficult, very difficult. And some people, just because of the way their body works, it's nearly an undoable situation in the real world.
It's hard
for them to eat in a way that they get down to a healthy weight.
Right.
Other people, it's easier. Okay, we got Taryn Allen saying hello from Huntsville. Hello, thank you for saying hello.
All right.
Yahtzee saying hi, doctors. Laura Webb, hello today. Yahtzee also saying people want a pill or an injection rather than lifestyle changes. Yes, or sometimes in addition to lifestyle changes. And quicker results. I understand that, but yes, that is part of what's going on. That's not the whole story. That is part of it, though. That is part of what we're dealing with. So it's not simple enough that we can say that's all these people that we're prescribing this for. Laura Webb says, I'm on it and have lost 45 pounds with a few side effects.
Yeah. Sounds pretty typical.
From the way you write that, Laura, it sounds like it's tolerable.
It must not be too bad of side effects.
And of course, the hope is that it enables you to go forward,
right?
Not having to use the medicines to keep it off, Most patients who take it, that's not the result, though.
Yeah.
To keep it off, it takes the medicine that got it off. Sometimes patients need a boost, like Ozempic. That's right. That's I have been on it for over a year. My type 2 diabetes is controlled, and I have lost over 20 pounds. For a year and only 20 pounds. Most of the stories are much more dramatic than this. I did hit a plateau, yes, and PCM had to increase
primary care something. I'm thinking they had to increase my dose last week. Primary care mom
had to increase my dose. His mom's his doctor. Had to increase her dose last week. Yeah, well, I'm pretty quick to go up on the.
I think she was trying to write PCP. There's the.
We're getting more on it.
PCP.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have Cushing's. Disease, along with several other health issues that no matter how much I exercise and no matter how healthy I eat, so that's what we were talking about earlier. People like this, difficult for me to lose weight until now. And boy, Cushing's disease. Wow. I wasn't even thinking of somebody with something as serious as that.
Right.
I think she's sticking my tongue out at me. I'm not sure. Primary care doctors or PCM. Okay. Not sure what the M stands for, but we'll take it. Okay. So caught up on the comments there. I hope we didn't get too one side or the other on the politics there. I was trying to just run with medical information related to something in the political arena that's going on that we are watching. Yeah, very interestedly.
Yeah, we will see. I'm all for improving our foods. Getting more healthy foods out there to more people. I'm all for that. The
idea of a food allowance instead. I don't know that was a serious
allowance
proposal, but it was just a little thought experiment there. Wait,
you can have this money, but you've got to only buy.
We can pay for people's food.
Fruits and vegetables with it.
Just fruits and vegetables and nuts and
legumes. I remember
beans.
Yeah. What are they called where they give you
vouchers for food?
Vouchers for food for the lower income people. I remember thinking people come in and say, I can buy this with that. And they were never healthy foods. It wasn't like you could go get.
Papa Murphy's takes it.
Hey, that's not bad, but it's still Papa Murphy's isn't exactly. But it was snack
what
food,
I eat,
cereals.
It's on the bad end.
That's on the bad end for.
Yeah, as is the.
But I'm just saying, we've kind of got ourselves into this with the types of foods we eat, how easily we make them accessible.
Yes, and that you sound like RFK Jr. when you talk like that.
I probably do.
He talks like that. He talks about the ingredients that were taken away. I think I sent you that one Instagram meme on that. If we can have healthier foods, if we can somehow make a change there, I don't know how you enforce that. I mean,
but you will pry my Oreos from my dying hand. Just kidding.
You can have my Oreos when you pry them from my cold day.
There you go. Yeah. Right.
So Taryn Allen also says accidentally hit the P enter before. PCM. Okay, primary care.
Yep.
Still don't know what the M stands for, but that's okay. That's all right. And Yahtzee says quick eats isn't. Yes.
Packaged foods.
Absolutely.
Quick things,
and I'm as guilty of this as anybody.
Drive-thrus.
If Leanne is at a meeting or something in the evening around dinner time or dinner meeting, it's just I don't prepare something more than a sandwich. That's as far as my meal prep goes.
I'm getting through this meal to the next meal. So
whatever I can take out of a container and eat, some nuts, some raisins, maybe make an avocado and cheese and mayo sandwich.
Fairly healthy.
Yeah. So. Yeah, because that's all we have around the house. We don't have food. We just have ingredients.
Right. You're an ingredients house.
Yeah.
One of my friends was telling me his son came up to me. He's like, this is an ingredients house. We don't have foods. We only have ingredients.
Which RFK Jr. would be all
for that. Huh?
So watch the news as we do and see what comes of this. I do know that there's people on both sides or I guess there's more than two sides when you consider all the factors involved, trying to weigh in on where this goes. So we'll be possibly watching Senate confirmation hearings. We'll see.
Yeah.
So thank you for participating in our show. Thank you for great, oh my goodness, so many people that are on these medicines participating. That was great. Thank you, Dr. Gwain. And until next time.
Hey, I'm Dr. Gwain Bond.
Dr. Mark Bond telling you.
Eat healthy.
Okay, see. That'll work.
Doctors, thank you for another informative session. Auburn Medical Group is located in Auburn, California, USA. Thank you for participating. Please tell a friend and join us again next week.